what are your top 3 foods that every woman after 40 absolutely needs to avoid to, help balance their hormones? Some foods to avoid.
Sugar, flour, which is sugar, and fast carbs. So that would be bread, pasta, white rice, white potatoes. Those would be my top 3.
And sugar, you're obviously talking processed sugar, you're talking corn syrup, you're talking white sugar, table sugar, added sugar to, box goods, all that kind of stuff, right?
But I'm also talking about what people think is good sugar that's not. I'm talking about agave. I'm talking about turbinado natural organic sugar. I'm talking about honey. I'm talking about, agave syrup or other maple syrup. A lot of people think, oh, I'm being healthy, I'm eating Manuka honey. No, honey, you're eating sugar. So it's all sugar. It's sugar, it's sugar, it's sugar. It's inflammatory and it sticks to all the cells in your body and it damages them and inflames them, which is a problem for your hormones, by the way. So sugar unbalances your hormones. It's impossible to balance your hormones without getting rid of the sugar. And that's the first thing I take women through is that is the loose thread. So if anyone here has ever been a knitter, I was a big knitter in college. And I used to have, 3 sweater projects going at a time. I went to college up in Pennsylvania where we routinely had snowstorms and it was freezing cold. So I had to knit these big wool sweaters. So I had lots of balls of yarn and, I had a cat. And so if the cat got the yarn, it would end up this big knotted mess all over the floor and you'd have to pick it up, right? How do you unknot that knotted ball of yarn? You have to find the loose end, right? You've got to find the loose end. And what's the loose end with your hormones? Your hormones, when they're all out of balance, it's like a knotted ball of yarn. The loose end is your insulin hormone and your sugar. So you've got to get rid of the sugar. And don't fool yourself like, oh, I'm eating gluten-free blueberry crumble every morning for breakfast. I don't care. It has sugar, right?
What is your top replacement for sugar? Because, you can hear people tuning in and go, oh my God, if I have to get rid of all the sugar, I'm going to have nothing to eat. Obviously, it's not true. I don't eat any processed sugar or almost never, right? But for people tuning in, what are your top replacements for unhealthy sugar?
So I'm a big fan of monk fruit sweetener and stevia, but although I think people find monk fruit sweetener more palatable. But I will say this, that we all have a sweet set point. And this is what Madison Avenue exploits when they create foods that we can't stop eating. Like, I can't just eat one potato chip. We have a salt set point and we have a fat set point and we have a sweet set point that we're biologically programmed to like. So, our genes program us for a survival advantage that we prefer things that are really sweet and really fat and really salty. Madison Avenue knows this. And so they create processed foods that exploit that and we can't stop eating them. This means that if the average person who's having an exploited sweet, salt, fat set point is their brain is hijacked through their dopamine neurotransmitter to eat those things. And so even if they try to cut back on their sugar, most people go into cravings is what I would say. And so the idea is, well, I can't give up all that sugar because I need to switch over to these other things because I need that taste. But what you have to recognize is the reason why your body wants that is because your hormones are unbalanced, your nervous system is unbalanced, your dopamine is depleted. Dopamine neurotransmitters it's your reward neurotransmitter. It's the reason we do anything and everything. Because whenever we do something that's rewarding, turn on the computer, get on a Zoom call, go outside, whatever it is, eat a potato chip, our dopamine gets a hit. And so this concept that I can't give it up. Basically what you're saying is I can't give up my dopamine hits, right? Where am I going to get my dopamine hits? And you will find a lot of people, they have to get it somewhere else. So like people who have gastric bypass, they're not getting their dopamine hit from the food. So then there's a high propensity to become an alcoholic after that. And then they get their dopamine hit. So anyway, I think the idea is you need to reset your set point. So I ask people to get comfortable with enjoying the natural sweetness in regular foods like berries. So when I was 243 pounds, I was obsessed with sugar. And like I used to think, oh, I'm going to go to the Cinnabon in the mall. Some of you listening know what I'm talking about. And I would literally, my mouth would start watering. And like I would get this whole, oh my God, I get to go get Cinnabon. And I would eat them. And after a while, they didn't even taste that sweet to me. They just tasted um, what I thought was normal. Then when fast forward 2 years, when I got off all the sugar and got healthy, and I actually tasted a Cinnabon, and I really gagged because it's so sweet. And that's because my sweet set point was so high. And so what I like people to do is you're always searching your taste buds for that level of sweetness because you're programmed at that level. Get used to enjoying the taste, the natural sweetness in berries. It doesn't happen overnight. You do need to go through like a sugar detox, honestly, to reset your brain, reset your dopamine, reset your taste buds, reset your sweet point. But then, like, I don't even keep that stuff in my house because I don't need it. And I just don't even want it. I do keep some monk fruit sweetener and stevia, and those are great alternatives if I do want something sweet. So that's what I would share.